Welcome to Facts or Fiction, where we uncover unusual or interesting stories in history. Today, we will be talking about 5 hidden treasures still waiting to be found. Let's get digging.
Warning, this video has some sensitive content in it. Number 1. The Florentine Diamond. The Florentino diamond, also known as Tuscan diamond, or the Austrian yellow diamond, is a 137-carat gem with a color of citron. Its story begins in the 15th century. Over the centuries, it was passed down to some of the most powerful and influential figures. The first recorded owner was said to be Ferdinand II, the great Duke of Tuscany. He was a member of the Medici family. How the Duke came into the diamond's possession is undocumented. The Medici family would keep ownership until the death of the last male. After this, the jewel became part of the Austrian crown jewels. By the 18th century, it was in the Habsburg court in Vienna. It was a display of wealth and power. Becoming a favorite of Empress Maria Theresa, the Florentino diamond was set in a crown for the coronation of Francis Stephen as Emperor Francis I. But as Europe changed, the diamond's fate took a dramatic turn. During World War I, Austria-Hungary were on the losing side, and in 1918, at the end, the Habsburg or Austrian family had to leave. They fled into exile in Switzerland, taking many treasures, including the Florentino diamond, with them. However, during this time, the gem disappeared. Some theories say it was smuggled into South America, sold under a different name. Others say it is hidden in a private collection, its true identity, a well-hidden secret. Some even believe the diamond was recut, losing its original form. Another story says it was offered for sale in 1981 in Geneva as a recut. However, there is not enough evidence to prove this. Despite extensive searches and investigations, the Florentine remains a mystery. To this day, treasure hunters are fascinated by this story, hoping to uncover its whereabouts. Could it be hidden in a vault, or has it been lost to history? Number 2. John Dillinger. John Dillinger was born in 1903. He was an infamous gangster known during the Great Depression. He was one of America's most notorious criminals. He was known for robbing many banks, prison breaks, and evading the law. As thrilling as his life was, it was also very dangerous. Amidst the exploits, the legend of his treasure stands out. Dillinger and his group would rob banks across the Midwest, perfecting their craft at the same time. This resulted in a small fortune, but with the law closing in, he needed a safe place for his gains. The most common theory is that it is hidden somewhere in the Wisconsin forests. Some stories say he buried a huge amount of money, gold, and jewelry in the wilds of Wisconsin. Some say it is $200,000 in cash, and some say it was hidden near the town of Mercer. In the spring of 1934, Dillinger and his group were hiding out at the Bohemian Lodge in Manitowish waters of Wisconsin. Someone left a phone tip with the FBI about their whereabouts, so the lodge got raided. During the shootout, Dillinger escaped out the back with a suitcase full of cash. It is said he ran 500 yards north, dug a hole near 2 pine and 1 oak tree, and buried the suitcase. Another legend says Dillinger and 2 others were in Fort Wayne of Indiana 10 days after the fight, and they still had the money. In July of 1934, Dillinger was betrayed and was in a battle with the FBI outside the Biograph Theater in Chicago of Illinois. He took the secret of his treasure to his grave, leaving behind some clues but no certain answers. Over the years, many have come armed with metal detectors, maps, and adventure, hoping to find the treasure. But despite best efforts, the cash remains hidden. Some say it was never buried and was taken by accomplices. Others think it is still out there today, waiting to be found by a lucky person. Is the treasure in plain sight? Is there even a treasure? Comment below what you think. Number 3. Faberge Eggs. Between 1885 and 1917, Peter Carl Faberge created some of the most intricate pieces of art, known as the Faberge Eggs. Commissioned by the Russian imperial family, these jeweled eggs were a symbol of luxury, craftsmanship, and opulence. Each one was unique and contained a surprise inside. Before 1885, Emperor Alexander III gave his wife Maria Feodorovna jeweled Easter eggs. In Easter of 1883, before his coronation, him and his wife were given eggs which contained a silver dagger and 2 skulls. Before Easter of 1885, Alexander's brother suggested that Peter makes a jeweled egg. The egg was so good that it was now Peter's job to design the eggs. From 1885 to 1917, Faberge and his artisans made 50 or more imperial eggs, each more intricate than the last. These eggs were for special occasions and were often decorated with gold, precious stones and portraits. They were making lots. Then the Russian Revolution started. In 1917, the Russian Revolution ended the Romanov dynasty. The imperial family was executed, and many of the possessions, including the eggs, were seized by the Bolsheviks. Some eggs were sold for funds for the new regime, while others disappeared. Since then, the Faberge name has been sold more than 7 times. The whereabouts of some of these eggs are still unknown today. Of the original eggs, 43 are known to exist today. So what happened to the remaining 7? Over the years, these eggs have had many people searching. Treasure hunters and historians have been searching for the lost Faberge eggs their whole lives. In recent years, a few have resurfaced. In 2014, one was discovered at a flea market, almost sold for scrap before the value of millions was known. This gives hope that the other eggs are still out there. The eggs are a testament to the craftsmanship of Peter Carl Faberge, each egg a masterpiece capturing a moment in time. Just one real egg could be worth millions. What would you do if you found one? Number 4. Amber Room. The Amber Room, or the 8th wonder of the world, was a magnificent chamber filled with amber panels, gold leaves, and mirrors. The room was at the Berlin Palace in 1701, where it remained until 1716, where it was given as a gift to Peter the Great of Russia from Frederick William I of Prussia. It was then installed in the Catherine Palace near St. Petersburg in Russia. It became a symbol or art. The Amber Room took 10 years to construct, and it covered more than 55 square meters and contained over 6 tons of amber. Its walls simmered with the glow of amber, enhanced by accents and mirrors. The room was a symbol of craftsmanship, leaving visitors amazed by its beauty. But as war swept across Europe, the fate of the Amber Room took a turn for the worst. In 1941, the Nazi Germans invaded the Soviet Union, and the Catherine Palace belonged to the enemies. Knowing the value of the room, the Nazis transported it to the Königsberg Castle in what is now Kaliningrad, Russia. At Königsberg Castle, the room was reassembled and displayed. However, as the war neared its end, Hitler asked the room was dismantled once again, but the commander fled his post before it was taken down. The room then disappeared into the war. The circumstances of its disappearance were never found. Some people think the room was destroyed in the Königsberg bombings. Some think it was hidden in a secret bunker. Eyewitnesses reported seeing it leave on a ship which was later sunk by the Soviet submarine. Historians have searched the world for clues, from German salt mines to the forests of Poland, to no avail. Despite best efforts, the Amber Room still has not been found. In recent years, hints and possible leads emerged, sparking hope that one day this treasure will be found. However, there was a reconstruction of the room in 2003, offering visitors a look at its glory. From underwater exploration to satellites, the search continues.
Number 5. Treasure of Lima.
In the early 19th century, Lima, the capital of Peru, was a hub for Spanish colonial power, home to immense wealth from the New World. But as the revolution swept through South America, the city had to be evacuated in 1820. This left the authorities with a question: how to protect their treasure. Fearing the forces of the revolutionary leader, José de San Martin, the Spanish viceroy of Peru, made a hard decision in 1820. This was to keep the treasure safe, estimated to be between 12 and 60 million in today's money. He had ordered for all of it to be transferred to Mexico. The treasure consisted of gold, silver, gems, and religious artifacts. The task of transporting the fortune fell onto the hands of Captain William Thompson. He and his crew that were aboard the Mary Dear ship were given the mission to carry the treasure to Mexico. However, greed can overcome you, so Thompson came up with a plan to keep the treasure for himself. Mid-voyage, Thompson and his crew turned against the Spanish guards, taking their lives and seizing the treasure. Fearing the worst, they sailed to the island of Coco, off the coast of Costa Rica. This is where they buried the treasure. They split up until the situation was calm, then their plan was to return to the treasure. However, their plan quickly unfolded. After hiding the treasure, Thompson and his crew were captured by the Spanish authorities and put on trial for piracy. Most of the crew was executed, but Thompson and James Forbes agreed to lead the Spanish to the treasure. They took them to the island, then escaped into the jungle, and they were never seen again.
There are many theories about the fate of the treasure. It could be still hidden on the island waiting to be found, or Thompson may have moved it elsewhere. A theory says that Thompson fled to Newfoundland and Forbes fled to California. There are even claims that the treasure has been found and buried again. This continued to be one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. What do you think happened to it? Comment below. And that is your 5 hidden treasure yet to be found. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more history stories. Thanks for watching and see you next time.